Hey folks, it's me Roger back from Birmingham, Alabama. It's about a 3-hour drive from here. Liz and I went down for the Birmingham record show, big annual show happens down there. We went last year and we had such a good time that Liz insisted that we do it again. And not only that, bless her, she'd been squirreling away cash, paper money. And so yesterday, when it came time to go off to the show, and she was going to hang out at the hotel and have lunch at the Vietnamese place next door in this nice square. And anyway, yesterday I go to leave for the show, and my wallet is bulging with cash. She's like, "Go have fun." I did. There's also a couple of cool record stores in Birmingham, kind of right next to each other, and they were within walking distance of the hotel, so of course I had to check them out. So I want to start with those. Charlemagne Records, really cool little store. Found this. It's a little rough, but oh man, what a record this is. I had it on CD forever. Andrew Hill, the music of Andrew Hill, and Blue Note from 60s. Killer with John Gilmore, who mostly played sax with Sun Ra. Bobby Hutcherson, who just passed away, great vibraphone player. Andrew Hill on piano, Richard Davis on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums. I mean, this is just a classic, and since it's a little rough, it was a really good price, and I think I can clean it up. And anyway, it's just too cool to pass up. I'm gonna have to race through this, okay, because it's gonna be a long video anyway, so settle in. It's all really good stuff. This is an upgrade copy of Elvin Jones' Genesis, also on Blue Note from 1971. This is so great. First side especially is just so mellow, and most of the copies I see just have tons of ring wear, and this is really nice. Really nice. Alright, Private Press, kind of took a chance on this. Private Press jazz thing, Ictus, Future Winds, on Airborne Records from 1981, and I'll tell you why I decided to get it. It was this guy. You can see he's got some analog synthesizers and patch chords and shit like that, and I figured, well, what the hell. So, let's see how that turns out. I've been kind of looking for this. It's a pretty common record, but this is a really nice original copy of Spirit's Feedback on Epic, with the gatefold and this insert, and I think there's an inner sleeve as well. Yeah, pretty cool. Pull this out. Alright, hold on here. It's got a split here. Sorry, I'm kind of tired from driving, even 3 hours. Back in my deadhead days, 8, 9, 10-hour drives, no problem. So yeah, that's what I got at Charlemagne. I was trying to hold back for the record show and stuff, and there's another record store just the other side of the 5-point square there called Renaissance Records, which is honestly kind of a mess. Like, it's the most disorganized store I've ever. It's kind of more like a flea market, but like there's records everywhere. But I had some time to kill, and I did find this, and this is pretty exciting. Conjure. Cab Calloway Stands In for the Moon. This is a Kip Hanrahan project from 1988 on American Clave. This is a German pressing, and I'm not sure that there was an American pressing. Maybe. I never saw one. I've had it on CD forever. Anyway, Kip Hanrahan, I just love his stuff. Saw him once around this time. And this features the great Bobby Womack doing vocals, and all the lyrics are by Ishmael Reed, the poet Ishmael Reed. This is the, I think, third Conjure project, second one. Anyway, great, really minty. In fact, they had all of Kip Hanrahan's American Clave Pangea records there, and I almost bought them just to give away, but I'm sorry. Also found this there. This is a Dutch pressing of Camel's Stationary Traveler from 1970 something. Yeah, I didn't have it. A Camel record I didn't have, so I love that band. British Prague. And a Vangelis record, Vangelis, Albedo .39. This is on, what, RCA, 1976. Yeah, so this is going to be like spacey electronic music. Love it. Alright. The record show. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to Eric Robbins, who I met up with briefly at the last show last year, and we met up again this year. Hey Eric, we were hoping to maybe have a drink or have lunch or something, or go out to dinner or something, but he had family things and it didn't work out. But anyway, it was great to see him, and this place was huge. I mean, it's like a basketball arena full of record vendors, and then there's like 3 other ballrooms with more records. And anyway, so I was hanging out with Eric, and this guy got there late, and he's hauling in all these records, and he's like, oh, this is the guy that had those black metal records last year. And sure enough, he had them again this year, even cheaper, I guess, because they've been sitting around. So Scottish black metal, still sealed. Saur, S-A-O-R is the name of the band. We have Aura, which is I think their first record, and then their second record, Roots. Sorry. Yeah. Both, you know, double albums. He raved about these, and so when he saw them, I'm like, gimme, yeah, it sounds awesome. He also found this. He's like, oh, do you have this? And this was one I was missing. Ohm's Variation on a Theme, still on the shrink wrap, on Holy Mountain from 2004. This, of course, came out of Great Sleep band. Yeah, I love this stuff. So yes, Eric, thank you. And next year, you know, hopefully we'll get to hang out some more. Yeah, so there were lots of vendors, lots of different. I mean, I saw, you know, Ashra Temple record. Guy wanted $400 for it. Anyway, guy from Nashville was down there, and I got a couple of records from him. This is an original pressing of Wire's Pink Flag on UK Harvest. Yeah, you know, the cover's not perfect, but the vinyl looks really nice. I know I'll clean it up. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. I pull it out, and this guy next to me is like, oh, where'd you get that? And I was like, oh, it's over there. He's like, is there another copy? Well, this guy followed me around the show, and it's like, kept offering me more and more money for it, and I was like, no. And maybe I should have. I don't know, but no, this record is just too cool to pass up. Classic punk, post-punk, punk that's already post-punk. I don't know. And also a Deuter record, Cicada, on Cook, great German new agey label. Yeah, no, I'm gonna dig that. All right, moving on to another dealer who had some quality stuff. A little pricey, but yeah, I mean, I managed to. I kind of couldn't leave this one behind, and so I think I got a good deal on it. It's a really nice copy of Hawklin's Warrior on the Edge of Time, original U.S. copy on Atco. Cover is just in really nice shape. It's got the original inner sleeve. Is this Lemmy's first record with Hawklin? I'm not sure. Yeah. And also, so Krautrock Kron, Let It Out. It's a promo copy on Passport from 1975. Yeah, killer. Yeah. What is there to say? Hawkwind. I found this one record in a box, you know, this one dealer. Another one I couldn't pass up, Sunny Sharp, Black Woman, white label promo on Vortex. Yeah, what a wild record this is. I'm pretty psyched to have a white label promo. Yeah, very nice. Another dealer who has come to Nashville and he travels around. And he's got some cool stuff, but I only bought one record from him. Jukka Tolvanen, A Passenger to Paramaribo. UK copy on Sonet. Sonet? Yeah, I guess so. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's a pretty cool label. And Jukka Tolvanen, I don't know. Guitars for Tassavalon Presidente, or what's the name of that Finnish band? Great guitarist. Fusion-y, Canterbury kind of fusion. Have some of his other solo albums that are great. Really looking forward to giving that a spin. Alright, moving right along. Here's a sealed copy of George Russell and the Living Time Orchestra, The African Gang. Sealed promo copy on Blue Note from 1985. So this was when George Russell was teaching at NEC, and I know some of these players. Gary Joynes, tenor saxophone player. Not sure what happened to him. He and Matt Shipp played a recital when Matt was a freshman. That blew my mind. Piano and saxophone. Anyway, cool to see some of those names. So I remember when this record came out. I never bought it because it was sort of around all the time. Anyway, here we go. George Russell. This is going to be great. Sort of avant big band. Yeah, cool. All right. Cheers, everybody. I wish I'd gotten this guy's card or something, because this dealer had lots of great jazz and some prog and all kinds of stuff. Really nice guy, and I went to visit his table twice because, you know, I got some things, and, you know, I tried to spread the wealth, whatever, not get too... Anyway, at the end of the day, I still had, you know, some of Lizzie's money in my pocket. I went back and I'm like, grabbed a bunch, and he gave me a great deal, and these are some awesome records that I mean, this is why I love record shows, because, you know, basically came out of his own collection, I guess, either things he wasn't into or has duplicates of or whatever. And anyway, let's get started. Let's not waste any time. Kalaparusha, Maurice McIntyre, Forces and Feelings on Delmark from 1972. This is going to be great AACM stuff with Anthony Braxton and Joseph Jarman and Richard Abrams and Roscoe Mitchell. Yeah. Let's Albert Eiler, Don Cherry, Don Takai, Roswell Red. New York Eye and Ear Control, original on ESP. ESP disc. Yeah, one of my favorite Eiler records, actually. So soundtrack for this film, which looks interesting. Don't know anything about the film, but this is a classic free jazz record. And really excited to get it for a nice price. And, oh hell, I might as well show this right now too. He had Judy Sill's second record, Heart Food, white label promo. Gatefold, what's going on here? Oh, wow. Didn't even know that, so there's a little booklet that opens up here. And it's a really nice copy. White label promo on Asylum. He was like, oh, that record's just too sad. I can't listen to it. It's too depressing. Sometimes that's just the thing. Alright, he had a bunch of Black Saints. Great Black Saints. Stuff I've had on CD, you know, that it's really cool to have on vinyl. And just great prices, man. Here's Henry Threadgill Sextet, Just the Facts and Pass the Bucket. Great band with Henry Threadgill on flute, clarinet, alto, baritone saxophones, Fred Hopkins on bass, Furron Akloff on percussion, John Betch on percussion, Oludara on cornet, Craig Harris on trombone, and Deidre Murray on cello. Yeah, Threadgill's naughty and complex compositions that expertly played. And oh man, these are so great. Jimmy Lyons Quintet, Wee Sneeze Wee, Black Saint, 1984. Jimmy Lyons Quintet, Give It Up, 1985. This stuff is so great. Jimmy Lyons played alto saxophone with Cecil Taylor for forever and didn't make a lot of records on his own, but I'm showing these in the wrong order. But these records on Black Saint are just great, and what a great band with Enrico Rava on trumpet and flugelhorn. Rafay Malik plays trumpet on this one. Let's see, and then Karen Borka on bassoon. Now, jazz bassoon's not something you hear every day, and she is awesome. Jay Oliver on bass. William Parker plays bass on this first one, and then Paul Murphy on drums. Killer. I've had those on CD since I don't know. And then, of course, this is earlier. Jimmy Lyons' Other Afternoons on Actuel number 9. Really pretty nice copy of this. And so this has Lester Bowie on trumpet, Alan Silva on bass, and Andrew Sorrell on drums. He had a bunch of Actuels. I mean, I left behind a lot of records, believe me. Believe me. This was cheap. Andrew Hill, Spiral. Lee Konitz, Ted Kurson, Cecil McBee, Art Lewis, Robin Kenyatta, Stafford James, Barry Altschul. On Heirs to Freedom, 1975. This is one I'm not familiar with, and I love Andrew Hill so much, so can't go wrong. Muhal Richard Abrams, Young at Heart, Wise in Time. This is an early Delmark pressing. This is more AACM stuff. Late 60s, I'm guessing. So Richard Abrams, of course, on piano. Leo Smith on trumpet and flugelhorn. Henry Threadgill on alto sax. Lester Lashley on bass. And Thurman Barker on percussion. This is great record. I love all of Muhal Richard Abrams records, but the two he made on Delmark, I think are really accessible. And if you think you don't get free jazz or that AACM stuff, great place to start. Anyway, psyched to have that on vinyl. Speaking of the AACM, here's a sealed, not sealed, but still in shrink copy of the Art Ensemble's People in Sorrow on Nessa, 1969. Classic. Pre-Don Moy. No percussion. I mean, they're playing percussion themselves, but no drummer percussionist on this, and it's beautiful. So beautiful. Barry Altschul, you can't name your own tune. More AACM stuff with Sam Rivers, Will Richard Abrams, Dave Holland, George Lewis, great trombonist. Barry Altschul on drums, obviously. What is this on? Muse from 1977. Great. Here's a couple records from a guy that is, I've known about, but I also know that he kind of veered off into some awful disco territory, and I've been wanting to check him out, and I figured this has got to be some good stuff here. So I'm not sure what order this goes in. So anyway, so we have Norman Connor's Dark of Light. This is on Buddha, 1973. Has a 1976 date on it, so I'm not sure about that. So Norman Connor's percussionist, right? And drummer. So Herbie Hancock, Eddie Henderson on trumpet, Gary Bartz on alto saxophone, Carlos Garnett on soprano and tenor saxophone, Art Webb on flute, Cecil McBee on bass, Buster Williams on, that's got to be good. And here's Dance of Magic. Also on Buddha, and you can see, there are all those great players. So I'm guessing this is you know, going to be in that 70s miles Herbie's Muandishi kind of bag, which all that stuff I love. So, and then no, there's still a couple more I got from him. Got a really good deal. All right, Klaus Schulze, Mirage, UK pressing on Island. The jacket's a little worse for wear, but the vinyl looks mint. Klaus Schulze, of course, great electronic music, and couldn't pass this up. Gong is Dead, Viva Gong, double album live at the Hippodrome in Paris, 1977. Really beautiful copy of this. Yeah, Gong. See if YouTube will capture this one. Alright, we're getting there. I'm sorry I'm flying by, but you know, I haven't checked any of these out yet, so I'm just showing them. Cheers. Fizzy water. Alright, one last thing I got from this guy, and something I've been kind of looking for because I've been reading Julian Cope's Krautrock Sampler, which you can download PDF online. Originals of that book go for big bucks. So I wanted to check out his band, The Teardrop Explodes, and he had this Kilimanjaro from 1980 something. This is, I think, maybe their most popular record. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm excited to find out. All right. Oh, another weird thing. 3 or 4 times people will come up to me and say, "Hey, do you make videos?" That's cool. I mean, but it's also a little weird, you know. But anyway, one of them was this dealer, and he's like, "Oh, you're on YouTube, right?" And he had some great records, so we had kind of a nice conversation, and he gave me a nice deal on some really great stuff. Here I am deep into this video, and I'm showing an original US copy of the Soft Machines Volume 2 on Probe, ABC Probe. Really nice copy of this classic Canterbury psychedelic prog record. I mean, Robert Wyatt, and just great. A band I don't have. This is my first Fairport Convention record. I'm sorry, but I'm late to the game. So this one's supposed to be good. Legion Leaf, and this is an original. Is it? No, it's a U.S. white label promo on A&M. Yeah. So this is, of course, Richard Thompson's band, for a while anyway. So UK folk rock. I need to get all of their classic run of records. Talking about classic records. Here's a really nice stereo copy of Blue Cheer's Vincibus Eruptum from 1968 on Philips. It has some writing on the back, which is kind of interesting. It says Kevin Fullerton, 3/27/68, Fargo. So he bought this when it came out, and arguably the first heavy metal record. The guitar sound on this is still crushingly heavy. Great record. Recently I showed an original mono that I found at Grimey's, and so now I have an original stereo, which is nice. I can ditch my Sundays reissue. And let's see. Camel Mirage, an original UK promo copy on Daram. And check out this sticker. Sample record, not for sale. Warning. Under the Copyright Act 1956, any person offering this record for sale renders himself liable to prosecution. That's one of the harsher promo warnings I've seen. Now, I have an original US pressing of this, which has a different cover. The Camel Cigarette Company obviously wouldn't let them put this out in the US. But this is such a classic cover, and it's nice to have an original on Daram. Love this band, and this is really one of their best records, I think, from 1970 something. Let's see. I'm sorry. All right, and one last record I got from him, cheap, and I've been looking for these for a while. Now I know this is not going to be. It's not like, you know, Laughing Stock. But Talk. The Party's Over. On EMI from 1982. First or second record, maybe their second. I'm not sure. There's one more I'm missing. This is still in its shrink. Really nice shape. Yeah, so this is going to be their more synth pop stuff, and that's fine. I like that stuff. All right, one last dealer, and it was very unsuspecting. You know, sort of this husband and wife, and just kind of a mishmash of records, and like lots of, you know. Anyway, I'm thumbing through and I find this. Chris Forsyth and the Solar Motel Band. Live November 15th, 2013, and November 15th is my birthday. This was a record store day or like a Black Friday thing, and I really wanted it, but I couldn't find it and didn't want to go online, and here it is, still in the shrink wrap. It's like $10. Yeah, totally psyched about that. Some of you may know, or maybe I mentioned it, I've been taking guitar lessons with Chris Forsyth via Skype. If any of you are interested in guitar lessons, he's great. He studied with Richard Lloyd from television and basically passes along what he learned from Richard Lloyd, and it's really mind-bendingly great. I mean, it's great. Right, so great find. So then I'm thumbing through the jazz section. Miles Davis, Get Up With It, from 1975. Appears to be original. It's got some tape on it, but it's the same color as this Columbia sticker. Appears to be in really nice shape. $5. One of my favorite Miles Davis records, and he loved him madly. It's just one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever. His tribute to Duke Ellington. Yeah. Alright. Closing in on it. Alice Coltrane Strings, World Galaxy. ABC Impulse from 1972. With that classic Peter Max cover. Yeah, what does there to say about Alice Coltrane? The most spiritual jazz there is. You're going to talk about spiritual jazz. I mean, that's, can't get more spiritual than Alice Coltrane. And this, Relativity Suite, Don Cherry and the Jazz Composers Orchestra. On the Jazz Composers Orchestra Association Records. 1970. Big group. Charles Brackeen, Carlos Ward, Frank Lowe, Dewey Redman, Leroy Jenkins, Charlie Hayden, Carl Bley, Ed Blackwell, Paul Motion. Yeah, this is going to be a big thing. I guess for a ballet, maybe. Not sure. Adding to my Don Cherry collection. And finally, we are almost the penultimate record here. Something I've had on CD forever, and I've been looking for a nice copy of Circle, Paris Concert. As you can see, Anthony Braxton, Chick Corea, David Holland, and Barry Altschul. This is on ECM from 1971, I believe. Double album. One of the great live albums ever. And one of the great ways of getting into Anthony Braxton. If you think Anthony Braxton is just too much, his playing on this is just so great. It was kind of no wonder this band didn't stick together that long. It was just too many personalities going at it, but the musical results are just so stimulating. Great record. Finally, not an ECM, it's on a Japo, Edward Vesela, Nan Modal. I showed another Edward Vesela record on ECM that I really liked a lot that I got recently. So I figured why not? And this is more, I guess, Norwegian musicians. Sort of, you know, that ECM fusion-y jazz I'm expecting. I'm sure it's going to be just as beautiful as that cover. I'm leaving it in the sleeve for now because the lamination is kind of coming apart. But, that's it. That's like 45 records in 30 minutes. That's, your records per minute is pretty good in this video, you have to admit. Alright, if you're wondering what's droning on in the background, it's my latest CD download thing you can get on Bandcamp. myname.bandcamp if you want to check it out. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. It was really a great time. We're already planning to go back next year because it's... Right? Alright. I have some more records to show you, so I'll be back probably this weekend. Take care.